wanna be where the sugar daddies are. I wanna see them spending their money on, what's that word again? Me.
Long does it take a woman to completely forget a man? What I'm going to say next may hurt you. If a man forgets a woman, it may take a year, 3 or 5 years, or even a whole lifetime. But for a woman, all it takes is for another man to appear in her life to forget a man who was once good to her. That's the reality.
A man cannot truly love a woman who fails to respect him, because respect is the foundation of how men form deep connections. For many men, feeling respected simply means being heard, valued, and considered. And without it, love slowly starts to suffer. Pride, dismissiveness, or the habit of not listening can push even a good man away, often without you even noticing it. When you speak down about him, resentment begins to build, and once respect starts to disappear, love gradually grows weaker over time.
When we hold the lens and the box for all men of this is how men are, it disempowers them, it disempowers us. There's this sort of belief that like women are full spectrum and women have like this whole range, and then men are supposed to be this like solid rock. And we all have masculine and we all have feminine. And when we try to cut anyone off from any of those, it's just a mess.
Compassionate voice that holds the safe container for me to rest and receive. And that's my true masculine energy. The pushing that I'm doing, the hustle that I'm doing, that's my feminine energy in overdrive, trying to earn his approval.
Meet your own pain so that you can soften it and rebuild your relationship to.
A lot of these women don't really understand you can't mock a man for shooting his shot and then wonder why he stopped shooting. Wonder why he stopped approaching you. Because you were being an...
All right, since so many people think it's so easy to meet someone the normal way, the natural way, in person, tell me where, as a single woman, am I going on a Friday night or whenever to meet the love of my life? All of these comments are coming from people who say that I need to get off dating apps, but I don't think it'll make a difference because the same guys that are on the dating apps are the same guys that are in public too. And on one of my previous videos, I got an overwhelming response from men saying that they won't approach women in public anymore because they don't want to be a creep. But again, everyone seems to think it is just so easy to just simply meet someone in person. So give me suggestions. Where am I going to find love? Let me know. And don't tell me to join a running club. I'm not doing that. I'm not running to find love.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. A lot of these women don't really understand you can't mock a man for shooting his shot and then wonder why he stopped shooting. Wonder why he stopped approaching you. Because you were being an idiot.
I always say the way to determine how serious someone is about you is not in seeing what they do on their own, is seeing how they handle your expression of concerns and feelings. All right?
Okay.
That's what's going to show you how, not just how serious they are about you, but how mature they are and if they're emotionally ready to be in a relationship. Because someone who cannot hear you out is not ready for a real relationship. All right. But if they can sit, talk to you, listen, not dismiss, and now make positive changes, all right, then it's all good.
I find that's the thing that's so hard today, because that requires healing. To be able to hear someone out, to be able to listen to someone's concerns and challenges and how they feel, and to actually validate it without invalidating yourself, right? I think that's why we struggle so much, because, or if I validate you, then I'm invalidating myself. Maturity is, oh, I could validate you and also stand true to who I am.
Yes.
That's a healed individual. And
what? I might got my own money, but I'm sick of taking care of my damn self. I need a real man to step to the front line and take over. Hold up down. The you talking about? And they always come up, ooh, the things I would do for you if we was together trying to sweet talk me. Do them now. What's holding you back? Because the bills due now, not later. So send the funds. And then we could discuss an arrangement and a potential relationship between you and I. Don't try to get some punani from me and then run off into the sunset with another with an empty coin purse. I don't get down like that. I need the pump of funds. Just like the bank when you're trying to get a loan. I need the proof. Now send me that now, daddy.
Modern women think they're so smart. But the thing is, men know when they're being manipulated. They know when you're trying to do something or say something that is not in their best interest, and you're trying to.
Just a quick PSA for all my single girlies out there. If you're dating a passive man, break up with him. You want a leader. Find a short man, find an ugly man. As long as they're a leader, that's the number one criteria. And I know that you think this guy that you're dating is going to change after the wedding. It doesn't change. It actually gets worse because dating is the audition. And you're not dating a leader. How do I know that? Because he's allowing you to initiate everything, to move everything forward. He's allowing you to drive the bus even now. And that's not going to change. You're onboarding a future employee and you're going to be his manager. And managing a man is not sexy. It's going to get old really quick. In fact, it's going to start feeling like mothering, and then you're going to be full of resentment. I know passive men seem safe, but they're not safe. They're just dangerous in a different way. They're dangerous to your nervous system. You're going to burn out physically, mentally, and emotionally, and he's just going to watch. He's going to throw some gasoline on that fire because he's already comfortable letting you do all the heavy lifting. And so you got to get out, and you got to get out now, because the only other way you're going to get out is with a lawyer in a divorce. And I know you don't want that.
Modern women think they're so smart. But the thing is, men know when they're being manipulated. They know when you're trying to do something or say something that is not in their best interest, and you're trying to.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't have no one that got away. And neither do none of my homegirls. In fact, I talk to a lot of women. Like, I probably talked to dozens of women about their relationship experience and things like that. And in my entire 23 years of living, I've only heard of one woman who had a relationship with a good guy who she feels like she should have did the right thing in. And it wasn't even a situation where she cheated or anything like that. She literally just wasn't interested, and like they just weren't on the same page, so they ended up going separate ways. But he was like textbook good guy. But other than that, I don't know of any woman that be like, oh yeah, you know, I had this great guy and I just fumbled him, I just did him dirty and this, that, and the third. Like I've never heard that in my entire life. So I find it so interesting how so many men have this story about like, oh yeah, the one that got away and I did this one dirty and I should have treated her right when I had her. Like, I just want to know, like, what's the science behind women not really having that experience of the one that got away, but men, it's like a universal experience for them. Like, all of them have someone that they could have had a good relationship with, but they just didn't treat them right at the time, and now they're gone, and now they're like spending the rest of their life missing them and treating every other girl bad because they're not that person.
Modern women, it's crazy because they say that, well, I wanted to be left alone. I don't want men talking to me. And when men leave you alone, then you get upset. Men heard you. They stopped approaching you. They stopped messing with you and quote unquote harassing you, as you say. And now you're confused as to why the request that you made was honored. This is what you asked for. What are you talking about?
Why the narcissist moves on so fast at the end of your relationship? Well, a couple of things. I mean, one, most of them, if not all of them, were already dating while they were with you. So it's not a big leap, you know. But another thing is too, you know, they just can't be alone. You hear about supply, but let's break down what supply is. Supply is attention. Supply is, combat their boredom. Narcissists get bored very easily. A lot of them have ADHD. They can't focus. They've always got to be doing something. Mine always, it was like, oh my God, just sit down. Just sit the f down and just be. He couldn't do that. No, he's got music always in the car, always listening, doing something. Oh, Jesus. A lot of them are that way. So they've got to be with somebody all the time. Another thing, too, is they've got to show the world, that's why they're posting everywhere. Look how happy I am now. It wasn't me. But what they don't understand is people are going, that was fast. Weird. They don't think, and that's okay. We know that they don't think. They move on quickly. And the last part of that is they didn't care about you. I know that hurts. But they don't care about anyone they're with, and that includes the new supply.
A lot of these men approaching now are the ones that don't really care about rejection. Those are the creeps that you guys are talking about. Not all the guys. Not all the guys, but there are a lot of men out there that are approaching that really don't care nothing about your feelings, right? I don't really care about rejection. I don't care about much else either. I don't really even care about you. I'm just trying to get the
Start taking for granted these relationships, and you think the grass is gonna be green on the other side. He's realizing it ain't shit out here either. There's only so much new pussy you can get.
Yeah.
We'd rather have a good night's sleep and a nice bowel movement. I mean, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being honest. You're not kids anymore. So it's like, okay, you got to relearn somebody all over again. And it doesn't sound like y'all had anything really major. It sounds as we don't have a community or a culture that supports marriage. Because if you'd have came around a bunch of married people and a community that supports marriage, people would have told you, girl, you better go back home and work this out. And people would have told him, man, you better go on back home and fix this.
Yeah. Right.
Versus get out here and live your best life. That ain't what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, put your family back together. Because ain't shit out here. I'm out here. Ain't shit out here.
Right.
Venereal diseases and crazy. Fix your family. If it's not anything that's majorly rampant infidelity,
no,
you're not in danger.
Don't get out here and lose your family and leave your family because it ain't nothing out here. And now you're going to lose your union for Nathan. Humble yourself, find some humility, learn how to communicate.
You know, a lot of men are not approaching because they learn their lesson, right? Tried being a gentleman, learn my lesson. Tried being, the good guy, the stable guy, I learned my lesson. Try to be assertive. Try to be vulnerable. I learned my lesson. In all of these situations, modern women are continuing to ruin the dating market with their food.
So are you really the most attractive out of all who are available, or are you single because you don't qualify for somebody who actually is the kind of person you actually want to be with? Are you single because you have high standards that you don't even meet yourself and you need to actually get there in order for those people to be available to you? It's probably not. Based on the numbers alone, chances are if you're single, it's because you're not hitting a high level. And when other people come across you, they don't have the experience that they just gotta have you. They could do without you. That doesn't happen when people are highly attractive. They don't get passed up because they're rare. That's just the truth. So you got to look at your experience. Don't just think about what your friends are telling you or what you think you should think about yourself. Especially women are overinflated in their own head. The actual experience you're getting in your romantic life, that's telling you the truth of yourself, not what you think in your head. It's your experience tells you the truth. What's actually happening are good men who most women would be happy, thrilled to be with. Are they the ones pursuing you or not? You don't have to tell me the truth. You need to tell yourself the truth. Okay, that's your first step, because this is most women right now. You can be real that the experience you want does not match what you actually want to be happening. Then you start, instead of blaming the men, you need to look at yourself and say, what do I need to do in order to qualify for that tier? You don't just manifest it by just thinking about it and wanting it. All right.
A lot of these modern women keep on asking, where are all the chivalrous men at? What's going on with them? Well, it's simple. You mocked him into retirement. And so now instead of him coming out and approaching you, and even if y'all don't come together on some type of agreement, like, oh, I'm not interested, he might stick around and say, hey, you seem like a pretty cool dude. Now you don't even get that because you was being a loser. And now he's like, I don't want to deal with that.
If a man does not formally and officially ask you to be his girlfriend, then you are not in a relationship. Stop fooling yourself. Let's have a little experiment. This is Dola. I'm going to ask, hey, Dola, if a man has not explicitly said we're together, but he talks to you every day, he spends time with you, does that count as a romantic relationship?
Great question. And honestly, this is such a common and tricky situation to navigate. No, it doesn't automatically count as a romantic relationship if those are the only factors. While daily communication and spending time together are often signs of something more, a romantic relationship typically requires mutual clarity and explicit agreement on what you are to each other. Without that conversation, you could both be on different pages. He might see it as close friendship, while you may interpret it as romantic interest.
Did you hear that? He can text you every day, he can spend time with you, he can even be very nice to you, but if he has not defined whatever relationship you all are having, then he's not your man. What you're doing is you're offering girlfriend benefits for free. Many women fall into this trap. You're thinking you're taking everything slow, but no, he's getting everything effortlessly. No commitment, no responsibility, just Osho free. Dollar, can you tell me what happens to women in this situation?
I hear you. It's really important to think about how this unclear dynamic can affect people, especially women. Women in this situation often experience a range of emotional and practical impacts. Emotional uncertainty. Have an open, direct conversation with him. Clearly state how you feel and ask explicitly what he sees your relationship as and what he wants moving forward. Set your boundaries. If his answer doesn't align with what you want, decide what you're comfortable with and communicate that, whether that's taking space, shifting to friendship only, or moving on.
What I'm trying to say in essence is that the man either clarifies, defines whatever it is you have, or you leave him alone. And honestly, I always use Dollar to answer questions like this. And Dollar is completely free. So ever since I discovered Dollar, my overthinking completely stopped, because I used to overthink. I used to have a lot of questions in my head, but Dollar just came and started solving the problems for me. But note, you can also use Dollar unlimited number of times. There is no limit. So let me ask you in the comment section, do you think that if you're having a romantic relationship with a man that has not defined whatever it is you have, is it considered as a romantic relationship? Or are you going to know your position and let it remain what it is?
And I think modern women have to understand that you can't have it both ways. You've been loud and clear for literal years. Don't approach me in public. It's harassment. And men heard the message and they stopped. Simple as that. And now, for some reason, modern women are confused about why men are not approaching them. You created this situation, and then you're going to blame men for following the rules that you set. That doesn't make any sense. Think about what you're talking about.
I thought I knew women until I started listening to men talk about women. Oh my gosh. What you all see is so much kinder than what we see about ourselves and each other. It's so much more beautiful. And so when I finally I'm creating the Celebrating Men and Marriage workshop, and I have all these things spread out that I want to put in it. And I learned a long time ago, in my early 20s, to go to the dictionary. And then later realized that if a woman ever wants to know what a man means, well, first of all, ask him. What do you mean by that?
What a crazy concept.
Crazy concept. No, they don't. They ask all their friends what he meant by that, and then they come and ask me what he meant by that. And I say, did you ask him? No. But of course, you have to be safe to answer to, right? What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
The cold approach died when approaching became a crime. It's really what happened, right? So when you started recording men, started insulting men, shaming men, doing all this other dumb stuff, that's when men said, oh, shoot, this not for me. Oh, this not the life for me. Oh, she's not that cute. Oh, man, I got dressed up. I look cute and no men approached me. Have you ever audited the way you act when men come and approach you? Have you ever thought about that?
It's important. This ain't for everybody, so if you don't want to hear, just press next. But Lord told me to post this because somebody needed it. Now, I was just on Facebook and I saw somebody's husband, and I didn't realize it was their ex-husband, but he with somebody else. I said, who is this? And I guess he done got married again. I said, where have I been? But anyway, that is the point. Okay, so this is it. Y'all know how men be moving on faster than women, and it seems like they be moving on faster. Like they'll have a whole new girlfriend, fiance, wife, quick. I'm gonna tell y'all what that is. That's because they don't be healed. They be broken. And see, what women do is we take the time to work on ourselves. we take the time to like work on ourselves. And some, I'm not saying all men, some men don't. What they do is they go jump into another relationship. Now let me tell y'all something. That woman, that man that didn't work out for you, she getting that same man. She getting that same man because he was too busy not working on himself. And then let me tell y'all something. It's another thing. Because he didn't take time to process why it didn't work out with y'all, he at some point, give him some time, he gonna be missing you. He gonna be missing you. And I mean, not that you gonna want to back or anything, but it didn't work out for you. It ain't gonna work out for her neither, because he didn't work on himself. Like, child, I need to get up, put some clothes on, make a whole YouTube video about this, because this is some good stuff right here, because I see it time and time again. But let me tell y'all something. A lot of these men, they do not take the time to heal and work on themselves. And the woman, she just getting in a relationship with the same thing that didn't work out for you, okay? And, you know, it's real sad, because these men, they just be jumping from one thing to the next. So let me tell you something. They'll never be happy. They'll never be happy. Happiness comes from within. You can't be happy jumping from situation to situation. It don't work like that. Happiness comes from within. I really hope this helps somebody.
And then, you have so many women out here that are just weird. They're just weird. Oh, there's no reason to approach me. There's no reason to be around me, except to just have normal human interaction. There's so many women that complain about men not approaching, and men, not even for approaching, not even for dating purposes, but they just be social, man. I don't want to talk to women all the time. I want to talk to some guys. I want to see what they're up to. Well, whenever you guys talk sideways, whenever you guys talk crazy, what are you expecting a man to do? What do you think a man is going to be doing? You think a man is going to be walking up to you if you're not friendly? I mean, guys, come on, man. It's not rocket.
I ran into a guy in the club the other night that I saw for a bit last year, and I gave him about ghosting me, but he said he thought I wasn't interested. I thought of you straight away. I might be an ice queen. This is exactly why you have to drop the if he wanted to, he would. Because I can guarantee you, in your head, you were like, well, if he was into me, he would text me. Meanwhile, he's over there thinking, oh, she's definitely not interested in me. This is it. This is why. This is exactly it.
I wholeheartedly disagree with this woman's approach to the mental load. Watch this.
I cannot stand when husbands tell their wives, just make me a list of all the things you want me to do. I'm not a mind reader. I always tell people, if you have me make a list, then I have to do more of the mental load. I now have to look at everything that needs to get done. Why doesn't your spouse, husband, boyfriend, whoever it is, see the exact same things that you see? Do they see that the toilet needs to be cleaned? Do they see that dinner needs to be made? Do they see that the house has to be cleaned? That laundry has to be done? That the kids have a birthday party coming up? That they need a gift? You should be able to see the exact same thing that your wife sees and do that, and your marriage should be going a hell of a lot better.
When your husband asks you to make a list, it's actually very loving, because the dishes or the toilet or the laundry, they didn't stress him out yet. They're stressing you out. When he lived alone, he still took care of all those things. He probably just did it in a different time frame than you. So you feel like everything falls on you. Why? Because you hit a threshold of frustration around those things before he does. And so you just take them on. Instead of having a conversation and saying, hey, when I go to bed at night, if the sink is full of dishes, it really stresses me out. Do you think you could help me out and we could work out a system of getting them done so that at night they're not in the sink stressing me out? He'd probably go to bed and sleep perfectly fine with those dishes in the sink. But because it stresses you out, he's willing to ask for a list. Hey, what do you need in order to feel peace of mind? You guys, he's actually doing you a favor. His brain doesn't scan the house and see the mess the way that yours does, and he's not wrong for that. This is called a preference. It's not a moral absolute. So when you are asking him to step in and to step up and to do stuff more, it's okay to request that. But you have to remember that you are not morally superior to him because you want the dishes done or the toilet cleaned more frequently than he would naturally do it himself. You're actually asking him to meet you on your level. So it should be done in a complete form of respectful communication, because you're asking him to join you at your level of urgency instead of you calming down and meeting him more at his level of urgency. So we don't recommend a list every day of the week. Sure, that would be exhausting. Establish a plan. Hey, I'll be in charge of this, you'll be in charge of this, and this is how frequently we do those things. Boom, done. Have the conversation one time. You both get to have a voice, but do not demean your husband for asking for a list. My gosh, what a loving thing he's doing for his wife.
Bring back men who yearn. I was on the phone with a guy today, and he's like, oh, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, I'm watching the newest season of Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton. He goes, of course you do. I go, what is that supposed to mean? He goes, oh, you're the sentimental and romantic type. I'm like, and? He goes, you do realize that's all fantasy, right? Guys don't act like that. Bring back men who yearn. I want a sonnet written about me. I want a man so unsure about how to live with his feelings for me that he goes insane, that he says he has to travel to the furthest corners of the world to get away from me, and it still wouldn't be enough. I want the Pride and Prejudice. I want the hand.
To most of you men out there, chivalry is why the are me and my homegirl walking into our job. There's 3 standing outside. There's 3 dudes, men, standing outside near the door. One of them stops and says to my homegirl, oh, who you trying to impress today with them lashes? Trying to flirt and shit. Nigga, open the door. Shorty had to open the door for herself. Like, chivalry is dead. Oh my God. Oh my, this is scary. Chivalry is you guys are useless.
I find it so funny when guys are like, I can't get any girls, no one wants me, blah, blah, blah. And then they don't take care of their appearance. They don't go to the gym, they don't have any career aspirations. Why would we want a man who cannot take care of himself? Because I can guarantee that we're not going to be doing it for you. So my number one tip for any guy looking for women and they can't seem to get one, take a look in the mirror. Obviously, personality plays a big role in dating too. We want someone with a great personality, but especially when it comes to online dating, what is the first thing that we see about you? Your looks. You don't style your hair, you have poor hygiene, you don't go to the gym, you're overweight. That's literally the first thing we're going to notice about you. It has never been so complicated either. Groom your beard, style your hair, and nothing fancy. Throw in like the base sea salt texture spray or the pomade or something. Just like give your hair some texture, some hold. Get better fitting clothes, go to the gym. And finally, work on yourself. Go chase that promotion that you've been wanting. Figure out what you want to do in life. No offense, but we don't want a bum or someone who doesn't know what they're doing in life. It's that simple.
Marriage and family, unfortunately, isn't worth it to men anymore. Society encourages women to focus on themselves and prioritize short-term things over long-term commitment. And that shows up in every part of our lives, which makes men not want to marry us. A lot of the qualities that a lot of men look for in a woman are becoming less and less common. And at the end of the day, the risks are so high for him getting totally ruined from marriage and having kids if things don't go her way. Men often don't feel appreciated in relationships anymore. They hear constant criticism about what they should be doing. Even though they're putting in so much effort and they're doing their absolute best, it's still not enough. And a lot of men out there who do want marriage and children, they're going to be a lot more selective than they used to be. They're going to make sure that you bring enough to the table. They're going to make sure they can fully trust you and rely on you when things get hard. They want to know that you're not just there for their resources and you're not going to try to burn them if you're not happy with the situation.
I thought that in order to attract a successful man, I needed to be successful. And I've been working really hard. And then I discovered through social media, I don't know if it's true or not, successful men or men in general don't care if a woman is successful.
False. It's actually a fact that most people date in their same tax bracket. So if a man's successful, the odds are he's dating other successful women. Why is this? Well, that's because proximity is the number one thing. Proximity. Right? That's what matters. Most successful people are going to hang around other successful people in places that successful people can get into, that can afford to get into. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be exceptions to the rules, right? There's always going to be those women who can pull a successful man while they're not actually successful. Sure, but that's not the norm. right? And that's what we're trying to talk about, right? You want to talk about real life versus the internet. On the internet, that's it. You have internet talking points, and then you have real life conversations. In real life conversations, most people date people in their same tax bracket. Now, if you're if you're like around other successful people who are your equivalent and none of them want you, I would say look in the mirror at your personality. All right, more you know.
She's single, and she says to DM her on Instagram.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Welcome to episode 2 of Single in the Wild, where I put myself out there to answer the question every single lady is wondering. Where are all the good single men at? Because dating apps suck and we're getting off them in 2026. So when the team at VGK hit me up and said, we heard you're looking for love at our games. Want to ride the Zamboni? I was like, absolutely. That's been on my bucket list since high school when I used to go to the Wranglers game. So we got there early, did the whole pregame thing. I even got free hair tinsel. Y'all, I'm officially in my VGK girly era. We stopped to get food and they're serving chicken tendies and fries in a mini Zamboni. I love going to Golden Knights games. The crowd is always so hype and the energy is just unmatched. Before I knew it, it was time to hop up on that glorious Zamboni and ride around on the ice. I had so much fun waving at the crowd, and the arena from that angle is crazy. Huge shout out to the VGK team because that was such a cool experience and I'm so grateful. And for the record, I didn't know they were going to tell people to DM me. But yes, I did get messages, a lot of them. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little chaotic, which honestly just reinforced my point. I want to meet someone in real life, in the wild, not through a flood of DMs, which is why we stopped at Hyde after the second period and ended up running into a bunch of friends. Hyde was popping during this game, and again, lots of attractive men, and I did observe some of them approaching women, so I'd like to think episode 1 of my series helped encourage that.
Here are 3 signs that she's wifey material. If she's doing these 3 things, this is your sign you should take her serious. The last one is very important, so ladies, please pay attention to it if you want to get wifed up. Number 1, if she's going out of her way to buy you things, even if she's not doing so well, show sacrifice when it's not easy for her to do so. When she's going out of her way to doing something nice for you, even though she can't afford it, but she's still making the effort to do so, if she's doing that, she's wifey material. Number 2, if she gives you updates about her life without you even asking, especially if she knows that you're an overthinker. For example, she'll be like, hey, I just got to the bar with my friends, I'll let you know how it goes. Or she'll be like, hey, I'm leaving right now. If she has this communication, wife her. Because we all know communication is key in a marriage. And before I say number 3, ladies, if you think you should be wifed up right now, drop a ring emoji in the comments. And number 3, the most important one, if she introduces you to her family, this is a really good sign because it's her way of letting you know that she's interested in you. No girl is going to bring you around her family if she does not see a potential future with you. And ladies, if you really want to get wifed up, you got to understand this one thing. And that is a man is constantly looking for status and respect. A woman who makes her man feel respected, not only from her, but his peers, is a type of woman that a man is never going to want to lose. Follow for more.
Guys need to start approaching girls again in the bar because we want to be approached. At the end of the day, like, you should be able to read body language and figure out like which girl wants to be approached.
It is not that easy in the bar to figure out which women want to be approached. I made a response to this video a couple days ago where these 3 women were like huddled up in the middle of the dance floor. They weren't dancing. They weren't looking around the room. They were all huddled up, just like staring at each other in this circle. Their body wasn't like towards the room. They didn't look interested or sending any guys eye-wise that they would be interested in them approaching. And then they made a caption saying, when you're hot and no guys approach you at the bar, sad face. And it's like, you are sending no signals that that's what you want. There are some women who say that they send clear signals that they want a guy to approach, and then you ask them what the signal is and they're just like, like, that's not really a signal. I'm not saying there's not some women who send clear direct signals, but I wouldn't say that it's anywhere near the majority. I also think if you're a woman at a bar and you really want to talk to some guys, like, you could easily walk up and start a conversation and a lot of guys would be receptive. It's possible that a lot of the guys that went to that bar weren't really going to try to talk to women in the first place. So if you're a woman there and you want to talk to those guys, you might want it more than they do. And in those type of situations, you might have to make the first move or at least send out like clear IOIs. Like, I'm talking clear IOIs that you want a guy to approach you. But I just think it's one of those things where we're kind of always talking about how women are allowed to go to the bar just to hang out with their friends. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they want a bunch of guys approaching them, and they should be able to have a space where they just hang out with their friends without having to get approached by guys. Same could apply to some guys, you know. You don't know if some guys were just out at a dive bar with their guy friends. You don't know if there's some social event or something there that piqued their interest. Maybe it's a karaoke bar. They really like karaoke. Like, you just don't know what the situation is. I have seen more women be like, oh, if guys don't want to approach women at bars, they should just like stay at home. But when you flip it, a lot of people say that women should be able to go to the bar and not have to worry about getting approached. So it's kind of just like the math is not math in here, you know? I'm not saying that you have to do everything as a woman to talk to a guy at a bar, but the way culture is with like bar culture and club culture, it's just not the same as it used to be. And you sort of have to adapt with it. But that is just my personal opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Bye.
Hey, y'all, come look at this. The free agent lifestyle is for down low men. Huh? The free agent lifestyle is for men who stick hot dogs and cucumbers and dill pickles up their rear end.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's what the free agent lifestyle is. These men is getting yeast infections in their booty and urinary tract infections because of the stuff that they're doing with produce items. These men is putting prophylactics on hot dogs, on dill pickles, on bananas, and they're going to town.
This is a sick Negro.
These men is going to town. A free agent lifestyle man is a man who does not feel comfortable coming out to the public.
What kind of say some hoe like that?
A heterosexual masculine man will never live the free agent lifestyle. When you cross the age of 25, 30, 35, 40, and you want to live the free agent lifestyle, and you need to come out the closet.
Can y'all help me understand how a man that sleeps with a bunch of women is DL? That literally doesn't make sense to me.
But wait! It's more! I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I got to let it show. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I got to let it show.
And that's really it. That's really it. I think he's exposing what men go through. It's like the trap, right? Modern women have pretty much eliminated every single location that a man used to meet him, that a man used to approach. And then you're acting confused as to why men stop approaching him. Where else is he supposed to go? What else is he supposed to do? You told him, don't approach here, don't go there, don't do this, don't do that. And now guys are like, well, there's not really anywhere that I can approach without being labeled a creep. Man, these women, man,